Sometimes when you're cutting porcelain, the finish will actually chip just because of the blade or because of quality tile or whatever. So you can see along the edge there, you get all these tiny little chips. And if you put a piece of trim on, like so, they become very, very obvious. A lot of times there's really no way to avoid the chips, so all you can do is do some sort of fix or repair. So there's some ways that you can do it, and this is the way that I've found to be the best and the easiest. This one down here, you can see there's these little micro chips that I've filled in a little bit with like a grout paint, but I've also sanded the edge to take off a bit of the chip or the rough finish. This one to the left, I haven't done it all yet. So if I put the trim on there, you can see very obviously all the chips. Stands out quite a bit. And even if you put some grout in there, it's likely to still stand out a little bit. Where on this one, when I put the trim on there, you can still see there's some chips there that are still visible, but not nearly like the other one. So again, if I put there, you can see, looks pretty good. If you end up grouting, everything will pretty much be hidden. Come to this one, looks pretty rough. So the best way to do that is to actually use a sanding stone. So a sanding stone looks something like this. You can get bigger ones from like Home Depot or something like that. And this is actually a hook file for fishing. And these are really cheap. You can get them at any sporting store. So any sort of stone sanding brick or block will do the trick. And all you really need to do is take your sanding stone and go over the edge. So you're going to do that as much as you need to and change the angle. So you might want to start like this and slowly work your way as you're sanding along the edge till you're almost flat. Don't scrape it across the finish because you'll just scrape the finish and you won't be able to fix that. But get pretty close. You can kind of see, it might be hard to see, the bit of the angle. So you're going to want to change it while sanding. And you're going to do it as much as you need to just smooth out all these ridges. Once it's all smoothed out, you should be able to run your finger over, and at most you'll feel like little bumps. Okay, so once you've done all that sanding, then you can use like a grout paint. So this is the grout refresh and just the white. The white goes pretty good with this tile, and also because we're using white trim, the grout paint will blend in nicely with the white trim. If you have different colored tiles, you're going to want to try to find a paint that matches the tile, or at least the grout that you'll be using. So if you're going to be using like a bright white grout, then you could use that bright white paint. So do the sanding, okay? So using the block to remove all the chips and edges as much as possible. Fill it in with a little bit of paint. You can just put it on your finger and just kind of smooth it over. Let it dry, wipe off the excess. Okay, the nice thing about this grout paint is that it's meant to actually grip onto like the rough finish, but then you can really easily remove it or scrape it off with like a little razor blade off the nice glossy finish of your tile. Once you've done all that, it should look pretty much like this. So you can see these, there are some small chips. They've been filled in nicely. Over here, I haven't done it all. So there's quite a few chips that I need to do and fix up. So that's what I found to be the best way to do it. Like I said, you can get these, I think they're like $1 or maybe $2 at any sporting store, or you can go to Home Depot and get the proper block. But this is essentially the same thing. And go to town. Another thing that you can try if you're kind of in a pinch and don't have anything is a nail file. A nail file might also work. I haven't tried that, but something else to try. Okay, hopefully this video has been useful. Please let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any other tips, leave them in the comments.